Hello everyone, good seeing you again. My name is Mabu, Manabu, or Mabu Sensei. You can call me whatever you want. I'm so grateful only if you remember my face and you pick up an easy name for you. I don't mind if you call me Mabu Sensei, but I don't mind if you miss today's video because it's gonna be so important for you to catch up with Japanese breaking news that you should check out on a daily basis. If you had new findings from my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Mana College so that you can stay tuned with the next episode of my YouTube channel, okay? Now, let's get it started. Today, I'm going to be talking about exchange rate between the US and Japan, and I'll give you up to date with the depreciation of the Japanese yen. So, as you can overview the chart of the exchange rate between the US and Japan, the Japanese yen is getting weaker and weaker ever since 2022. At the moment, the rate was 125 Japanese yen per dollar, and now, remarkably, it's 156 Japanese yen per dollar. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Historically, this has not broken the record since nearly 35 years ago. When the weak yen hit 152 Japanese yen per dollar on April 10th, we got so crazy, like, oh man, are you serious? And within a few days, it reached around 156 Japanese yen per dollar. The government of the Bank of Japan declared that Japan doesn't raise interest rates for the time being. I tell you what, in the background, Japan has been facing a constantly low inflation and sluggish economic growth for many years. Japan is so afraid of deflationary pressure, like price keeps falling. High public debt, aging population, and yen appreciation, and more. I'll talk more about them later in the second half of the video. So let me just put them aside for a second, okay? All things considered, however, it is important to note that monetary policy decisions are complex and it is subject to change under any circumstances. Of course, it depends on numerous factors, so the Bank of Japan may make some adjustment to interest rates in the near future. Because of the fact that the Bank of Japan decided not to raise interest rates, the yen was depreciated so badly. I was watching TV and frequently a TV caster repeated the term with intervene on the foreign exchange market, but I didn't understand it. It was completely beyond my understandings, and I guess you don't get it either. So I have outlined and summarized the overall understandings of what the real weak yen is supposed to mean to Japanese economy and the background of why this happened. I broke down breakthrough poverty and why it happened and the governmental measures to prevent excessive and unstoppable depreciation of the yen into some agendas, as you can see the background right behind me, okay? Listen folks, today's episode is super important for you. You should listen to me. The weak yen, the Bank of Japan, and whatever political measures, it doesn't matter to your life, but it does matter to you. For the overseas visitors, they should be so happy in the Japanese market if they have plenty of the US dollar, because the value of the yen is super cheap, just like you buy a bottle of Coke at below 50 cents. On the other hand, for Japanese people like me, I can't go out of Japan. I can't even leave Japan because it's too expensive. I got booked an overpriced airplane ticket. That's a ridiculous amount. I can't afford for it. Yeah, even my annual income is raised. No, I can't make it. Yeah, my close friend is doing an important import business from Poland. A weaker yen makes a big impact on imported goods, more expensive within Japan as the value of euro goes up. He has to pay extra money, a lot. Yeah, this can result in increased cost of for his business that leading to a decrease in consumer purchasing power. Of course, no one wants to buy expensive goods, right? Yeah, if you merely try to buy a bottle of water in Hawaii, you gotta pay $7 or something. That's so insane. I don't buy American stock, although I want to. You know why I don't buy American stock? Because of the risk of currency war. If other countries respond to Japan's depreciation policy by devaluing their own currency, it can trigger a currency war where can destabilize a global economy and lead to increased volatility in financial market, which means, yeah, simply my asset declined. So Japanese people are getting poorer, and poorer. I want to deliver my message to every single one of you because, like I said, yeah, this is so important. Listen to me, baby. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I believed I released another video subtitled "Bad Depreciation of the Japanese yen," if I remember correctly. Just in case, I leave the link, URL link down below the description section below. If you haven't watched it, please have a quick check on it. Yeah, that would be of help for sure. I would have said if you look at the weak yen over the long period of time, it's not a good sign. Ever since 2 years ago, the value of yen has been getting cheaper by 30 Japanese yen. Some people misunderstood that the weak yen should have been welcomed. Others didn't even care. What do you think of? What do you think of it? Do you think the weak yen should be a greater or any other ideas? Well, I think the weak yen it's supposed to be welcomed only if the power of weak yen were moderate. If it were excessive, however, nope. I don't think so. Some of the leading Japanese companies such as Fast Retailing Holdings, where franchise Uniqlo and GU, they are so afraid of the risk of excessive yen depreciations. When the inflation goes up, what happens? The price of goods and services goes up likewise. When the price of goods and services goes up, well, what are we gonna have to do? We have to increase salary, right? Yeah, we don't want high price. We don't want to pay more. Come on, the cost of imported material is super expensive and getting still higher. Taxes up, salary is up, housing rent is up, utility is up. Everything is getting so expensive. The cheaper the value of the Japanese yen is, the higher the price of goods and services is. Japan has limited natural resources such as land, oil, and minerals. Yeah, we need to import them in order to meet its domestic needs and sustain economic growth. Without imports, we can't survive. Look at the food. Japan has a highly population density and limited lands, making it difficult to meet its food requirements domestically. We have a chronic shortage of labor force as well in agriculture, so we need to develop automation with AI, artificial intelligence. But in the meantime, we have to import a significant amount of food, including grains, meat, seafood, and even vegetables. Then, how and from who are we gonna be able to make more profit? Travel, sightseeing, and inbound businesses targeted toward overseas visitors. We have to welcome them, as many of them as possible. If you visit Asakusa, Ginza, Shinjuku, and somewhere famous, there are too many overseas people founded anywhere like cockroach. They shop tons of gifts and presents with a heavy carry bag and scatter too many garbage down the street. Very, very dirty, but we have to welcome them because they have money. The influence of weak yen is super huge in Japanese market right now. Hotel industry and accommodations are shifting the price setting for foreign customers. Yeah, they increased the room rates at 50% or up. But foreign customers don't really care because it's still manageable. Hotel owners targets the foreign customers with luxury stuff and what makes them feel good and give them satisfactions in the moment. They are willing to pay, but Japanese customers do not. We don't even go on a domestic trip. Yeah, we hesitated. I'm right now on a Golden Week holidays, but I stay home and make YouTube videos right now because I gotta pay extra money if I take one step out of my apartment. That's so sad, to be honest. As I said earlier, we need to raise the salary for the high cost of living. But the thing is that it's possible for the big companies like Fast Retailing Holdings, Toyota, and Sony to increase the salary, but not small-scale companies. According to the survey, it said that overall, small-scale companies make up with about 95% of the all businesses in Japan. Only a small portion of the entire Japanese business market are doable to increase the salary because they have enough budget. But when it comes to a small or middle-sized companies, not really. It makes sense, right? Yeah, because they can't run the business. Yeah, just they can't do business. It's not possible. Domestic companies in Japan tend to have their parent companies. Namely, big companies are supposed to take care of the child companies, but the budget doesn't come down to the bottom. Yeah, they are running low on budget. That's why many small-scale companies filed bankruptcy over the half of the past year. Basically, the global standard currency is US dollar, as you guys are already aware of it. At the center of the US, we make circle and moving around like this. Yeah, because the US is the largest and the most developed in finance, and they have a significant impact on the global economy. Japan has to get the help from the US financially. Yeah, Japanese government tries to make a stronger alliance with the U.S. military as well, so that we can protect ourselves just in case the conflict occurs with the neighboring countries like China, North, South Korea, and Russia. So, if the inflation is facilitated in the U.S., Japan's stock market also goes crazy. When that happens within a short period of time, we have to have a bubble economy, which ends up to the bubble collapsed after all. We buy land, sell it higher, buy another land, and sell it more higher. Likewise, we do the same repetitions, and someday, quite soon, the stock market is crushed dramatically. The Japanese government doesn't want that no matter what. They will stop at any cost. The slow inflation is welcomed, but when the steep inflation happens, they have to do something. Yeah, which means the Bank of Japan increase interest rates. When you borrow money from the local bank, but the interest rate is up, you think twice because you have to pay them back more. Japan's interest rate is extremely low as compared to the American one. The Japanese government has implemented the monetary policy called negative interest rate in order for borrowers or investors to borrow plenty of funds from the bank easily. This measure was quite effective to stimulate economic growth and discourage saving money. But if the central bank increased the interest rate, as the Nikkei Dow average was at the peak of the stock market, obviously the stock market is down in an instant. So the interest rate is a very, very specific indicator to anticipate the cash flow of the whole market. Again, interest rate is a key indicator, folks. There's a big gap between US dollar and the Japanese yen. The US interest is high, and the Japanese interest rate is low. And if you deposit 100 US dollar, which is worth 10,000 Japanese yen, which one would you save your money at? The US bank or the Japanese bank? If you select the Japanese bank, you gotta rewind to today's video and watch me again. Yeah, everyone wants to have a US dollar. That's why the US dollar is popular. Yeah, you wanna invite a Lady Gaga, for example, for your birthday party, but she doesn't come to celebrate on you for cheap performance fee. but uh, uh, but your friends are okay for free. What is the difference? Is popularity, right? If you ask for professional stage performance, you pay a lot of money. Namely, that is the US dollar. Your friends, unpopular performer or comedian who no one knows, that is the Japanese yen, because they are not demanded. If you make it simple to understand like this, you know better. The US government announced to hold interest rates steady at 5.25% or something. Or so popularity of the United US dollar will remain the same as well. Here, you might have a simple question like, how come Japan doesn't increase interest rates as well as the US government? Well, the answer is a little bit complicated, but yeah, it's related to political situation in Middle East Asia. The high oil price has a significant impact on Japanese import business, as I slightly mentioned in the beginning of today's video. So please also make sure the international conflict between Israel and Iran. Yeah, I can kind of conclude that the higher oil price is leading to the weaker yen. I'll talk more about that in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching.